Everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. I spent the last 16, 17 months learning Blender. I now create add-ons and tutorials. A lot of fun. Had a lot of fun doing it. Had a lot of fun teaching. And so now I'm at the point where I want to start transferring those skills, not leaving Blender, but transferring those skills into other software. So here we go. This is Blender, just themed out. And what I want to do is just go ahead and drop in a cube and jump into edit mode, edge select, and I want to run up a nice little bevel right here, and then just go ahead and let's shade that smooth. Do I not have a shade? There we go. Shade auto smooth. Okay, boom. Real easy to do in Blender. Then I downloaded Cinema 4D, and I've been using it for like 5 or 10 minutes. The middle mouse wheel is really making me mad, but I think that once you get past the fact that you can't use middle mouse wheel to pan, you can only do it to zoom. Yeah, you're pretty good then. So we drop in a cube, we hit C to jump into edit mode, then we grab our edges here, then we can just tap bevel, and then we should be able to like shift select these, and then add a bevel or slash chamfer to that. Then we can create some radial effects, solid, proportional. I like obviously the chamfer, and we can throw some subdivisions on there, like 3 or 4. Then you can start playing around with the depth, which is like it's a profile effectively. And it stays there too, because when you pull up a bevel modifier, you get to keep all those things. But if you just hit Control B and try to change the profile, you're done. And so this does, I don't have to like keep clicking through a lot of things. So it's got some one-ups. Excuse me for smashing into the microphone. It's got some one-ups on Blender, but obviously Blender does a lot of other things. So we have a modeling, sculpting, UV editing, paint, groom, track, sculpt, and I believe there's some other stuff over here. I can't really read all of it. But I'm not going to go through all this right now. I literally just learned how to bevel. And I was going through some of the tutorials, and I'm going to let you guys know, y'all are blessed. People who are doing Cinema 4D tutorials, I was about to go to sleep. And I've even got coffee, and I was about to go to sleep. Those guys are boring. So, and you know, from here, I think you can do a lot. Okay, so I wouldn't be doing that in Blender as easily. That is 100% for sure. And now look at this, man. Look at the profile. Look how this bevels. And it kind of just auto corrects. If I come over to Blender, don't get me wrong, I can grab all of this and bevel it in and do a lot of cool stuff. But hey, that's why I made the bevel, and I don't have a bevel modifier on there. But if I just delete that cube out of there and jump in my own cube and add a bevel modifier and then add a preset, that's the bevel magic. That thing's pretty cool. So it just adds like a really nice sharp bevel for you. And let's go in the end panel and see. Yeah, I got bevel magic in here. I've got this add-on somewhere. So this thing is pretty cool. You can do a lot with the bevel magic add-on. And so yeah, and I'm going to get back to making this even better at some point, but I was working on the light magic for a while. And so let's grab the amount, and we'll do that, and then we should be able to go to geometry profile. And I would actually, yeah, go to custom, and we can mess around with the F-curve a little bit and get some very cool custom things here, but it's more involved. It's not quite as quick as doing it this way. And real quick, I was just going to go back over some of the Cinema 4D options here. Like you can pull in the tension and kind of change the profile the same way. And I really like the geometry setup on here. I'm not having to like change anything from sharp to arc. And we can get quite a few, if you will, different results and kind of sharpen that up. That's actually pretty nice. I like that. And it's not too hard to learn. I mean, I can jump into wireframe now, change the shading, go into lines. I mean, in just 10, 15 minutes now. And Yeah, that's pretty cool. So now as we change this, we can kind of see how the actual geometry is reacting. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. I may end up keeping something like that and change back to the ground shading. And I'm going to check some of these other ones out. And as usual, my contacts are about to fall out. Hidden lines, constant shading lines. That's nice and bright. Don't like that. I'll go back to this one. This is more of like a viewport 3D that I'm used to seeing. And there's also a right-click menu. So if you wanted to come in here and, just grab a few faces, or maybe just grab one face. And I think I remember the extrude command. So there we go. Not too bad. Man, that's pretty cool. So a lot to do here, a lot to learn. There's a really cool deform menu right here. So if you were to come in, you've got bend, shear, twist, shatter. There's a bevel deform, which is really cool. You got a surface deform, and I'm kind of taking these as like the modifiers, And so if I add a taper object in here, you can apparently create some of your own custom profiles with that as well. And then I guess you can apply that to the mesh. Anyways, that's about all I'm going to do with Cinema 4D tonight. And back over here, let's see if I've actually got this version correct. I was going to show you guys a quick little update. So if I throw a solidify modifier on, no, I don't see it. All right, bear with me. I went back, and I'm safe to use the middle mouse wheel again. Thank you, Blender. I'm back. Did you miss me? All right, so now what you got under the camera manager, and you don't have to have the camera manager open, but right here under the light manager and the camera manager, depends which one you're using, doesn't matter. They're both going to display now if an object has a modifier or if it has a constraint. And so if I come over here, I can see this has geometry nodes. If I grab the camera, I guess the camera doesn't have anything. Nope, camera doesn't have anything. I throw a track 2 on, you can see the track 2 pop up. I throw a stretch 2, then it'll show that. So if like you've got a bunch of stuff on one object, you'll be able to see that. And if I go to modifiers and throw our famous bevel on there, which now that looks really nice, then you'll see that this object now has a solidify and a bevel. So I kind of expand the Light Magic add-on to include a lot more to do with cameras and then mesh objects. And if you're up here working with the cameras and you grab your camera, you'll see that camera now has all this stuff on it. You grab this camera just has a track 2 because we have 2 cameras in the scene 1 and 2. And yeah, that's about it, guys, other than some of the cool add-on upgrades I did. I won't go back over that and bore everybody. But anyways, I'm glad you guys stuck it out if you came through this far. So your Blender skills, do not stop, do not give up, keep going. It's transferable. And in like 5-10 minutes, I'm using Cinema 4D doing bevels, extrusions, and modifiers. And I promise you, I would not have been able to do that. It would have been very frustrating. So stay encouraged, get out there, do some blending, and let's get started.